back to my course. Get in front of the soul waves splashing across the planet. Nice to see you. Today we focus on lesson 2, called Activating Your Third Eye for Authentic Soul Identity. When I first activated my third eye in a major way, I became aware of how divine energy is everywhere. I began seeing auras around people and animals and plants. Their energy fields all came from the same divine source that is in all creation, that lovingly connects all of us. As my vernacular vision expanded, I developed an unstoppable equanimity that originated from the center of my calm soul. It has provided me with a calm peacefulness, even in the midst of very humble and very tragic circumstances around me. And I know this will happen for you as well. As you allow your inner eye to open, you will also develop a calm equanimity that will not only sustain you through any challenge, but it will assist you in transcending others' religious, political, and cultural affiliations, as you will realize that those societal organizations are just like the lines in a notebook that help a student learn to write. Those organizations are simply the avenues that souls go down to experience their gradual soul awakening. And because we have been given the gift of free will, different souls choose a variety of avenues to grow spiritually and personally. You expand your understanding of how connection to the divine does not only happen at a religious gathering, but rather it is everywhere. And at the end of the day, everyone goes home to their soul selves, regardless of what organization they were associated with. Soul lessons come in all shades, shapes, and sizes. The sky is the limit at Soul School on Earth. And this really is just a big schoolyard, this Earth, to learn our soul lessons so that we can then go home to spirit again. When you do your favorite creative activities that make your soul glow, your connection to the divine within you and in all things is radiating from your core. When you do chores, your wise soul assists you in harnessing the discipline to complete them. With this spiritual understanding, or if you will, spiritual overview, you are able to make peace with others' soul choices and lessons with radical acceptance. So if you see another person's soul going through a situation that you have trouble accepting how they're navigating it, if you step back and look at the overview of the soul perspective, you can have compassion for them and more patience with them, realizing that they are, with the knowledge that they have at that moment, they're doing the best they can to learn their soul lesson at that point. And there's a saying that goes, please don't judge me by the chapter you walk in on of my life. And isn't that true? Because We're not even exactly the same as we were a month ago, or maybe even an hour ago, depending. Because we're in a state of constant transformation and growth. You join the spiritual Olympics that has a unifying force to bring us all together passionately as kindred souls. When you observe other soul lessons and choice of affiliations from a soul perspective. And like the Olympics, spirituality really does unify people in this manner. Even when people do harmful things, you know their soul light has simply been buried deeply under a lot of rubble from this lifetime and other lifetimes, and it has a cumulative effect, and it's just the pile's gotten higher and wider, and the soul light is hiding underneath there, waiting to be rediscovered. And you understand that their harsh lessons will one day begin to gradually return them to their authentic soul selves. In my 30s, I attended an interactive workshop at which a young man about my age told me that he sensed I was uneasy with my quite apparent vulnerability. And it's true, I was always sensitive and my feelings were very close to the surface. And so I always had a sense of vulnerability about me, deep within me. And he said to me, he said, I want you to know that I see your vulnerability as a beautiful part of you. And I could feel him speaking from his heart and soul. And what a gift he gave me that day, way back over 30 years ago now. It just felt like a ray of sunshine, a ray of warm sunshine, having this human being and who had just met me just send me love and acceptance for my vulnerability, which then in turn gave me permission to sink into my vulnerability even further in order to grow spiritually and personally. And I hope one day I meet up with him again and can return the favor. Vulnerability as a human really is one of your greatest strengths, as well as a thing of beauty. As you activate your inner eye, you will feel your deeper, authentic feelings more profoundly, which can result in you feeling at risk to vulnerability. Rise up to embrace these feelings with soul passion and enthusiasm as they allow you to experience life in a more real way, and to connect honestly with your inner soul and with others, which is a healthy starting point. Even your fur babies, the eyes really are a mirror to the soul. Everyone's experience of awakening to spirit will be unique to their own makeup, and each individual has layers to their outer persona and how it connects holistically with their brain, their mind, their body, their emotions, and so on. And this extends far back into your past lives. And you do bring the cellular memory of your past lives with you into this lifetime, which is why certain unusual health situations could show up in the present lifetime, for example, or a certain personality trait or characteristic could show up in this lifetime. And your parents might wonder, where in the world did that come from? They didn't get it from us. And no doubt it was there in your past lives, either a recent past life or even further back. And so that's why, as you go through this process of opening to your divine self, it's going to be unique to you. So don't set expectations or feel that it's not going the way it should, because it's going to go exactly the way it should for you as an individual. And so just kind of let go and let it flow. Just like the ebb and flow of the waves in the ocean. Just let it flow and listen to your soul echoing out to you. All right, so I'll give you an example of, I'll give you a couple of examples of how it happened uniquely for my needs based on my past life experience. I began seeing orbs, and I remember on a good day while my parents were still alive, we made this agreement that whoever went first and second and so on to the other side would bring a sign to show that they were there, and that there was life on the other side. And sure enough, about 10 days after my dad passed, when I was 36 years old, which is exactly 30 years ago. Where does the time go, right? I was in the living room by myself, and it was very quiet, and suddenly I looked in the middle of the living room, and there were 3 orbs about maybe a meter off the ground, and they were about a foot across in diameter, each one of them, and they were just glowing white orbs of light. And I knew that one of them was my dad, and the other 2 orbs were his kindred souls that he had returned to in spirit. He was very close to his mother. Maybe they were even in the same soul group. So I'm pretty sure she was one of them. And then I'm not sure who the other one would have been. But true to his word, he came and gave me the sign, which I truly appreciated and thanked him for. And they probably had fun doing it, right? So then, many years later, about four and a half years ago, my multi-poo Romeo passed to the other side. And he was a white multi-poo that looked very much like a lamb, and he had the energy and personality of a lamb, like just very, very gentle, ultra gentle, and innocent and very pure. And on the vulnerable side as well, which greatly endeared me to him. And probably about a week after he passed, I again was in the living room, and there he was. But he was up closer to the ceiling. He was probably about 7 to 8 feet off the ground. And again, I saw him in an orb. But interestingly, the orb was in the shape of a fetus. And it had this kind of gossamer quality to it. And it moved around a bit, and it had a slight hint of pink in it as well. Oh, it just moves me even talking about it. I miss him so much. And I believe that the reason he showed himself in the shape of the fetus is to let me know that he was my fur baby and that he was coming back to me, because I've had other animal spirits reincarnate back to me, which I can go into more detail on another time. And the thing that struck me as well during this encounter, this visitation, was the purity of his energy. Was far more light and pure than any human energy during any visitation I've had from human spirits. So I find that interesting. And so I think that bears out the fact that we should be open to learning about unconditional love from animal souls, especially our fur babies. So what you need to do is just be open and willing. Use your free will, which is a gift from universal divine energy. Use your free will to be open and receptive to whatever comes your way. These orbs are really just one way that my brain processes connecting to spirits on the other side. That's how my brain processes it. And usually when I see human orbs, they're up to the right. They're up in the air to the right of my head. But when I saw my Lammy, he was actually right in front of me. It was different. So I also should mention that I see the expression on their faces. I don't see their whole body with human visitations. I just see the face. I see the expression on their face, and through that visual, I can feel how they're feeling, and through the avenue of feeling how they're feeling, I get a sense of what they're trying to tell me, what they're trying to communicate. And then if I need to, I ask my guides to communicate to me what their message is, or their question, or whatever. I actually have this little statue near me where I see it every day, and it's an angel holding a little dog that looked very similar to Lammy. And it just comforts me to know that My little lammy, for now, is being kept safe in the arms of the angels and the guides and his kindred animal souls. And in my book, Shades of Soul Passion, Guiding Principles to Set Your Soul on Fire, on the back of the book, I have little paw prints, and it says, your fur babies have soul passion too. And I talk quite a bit about that in the book, about how our fur babies do have soul passion and how their souls soar when they're being true to their existential potential and hearing the echoes of their souls as well. So let's set the intention in order to open our third eye even more. Let's set the intention of always seeing souls first and the outer package second. Okay, so let me repeat that. When you encounter other people and animals, focus your intention on always seeing souls first and the outer physical package that they come in second. To do this, it might help you to focus on seeing their soul through their eyes, knowing that their eyes are the mirror to their soul. And so we're going to see souls first in our day-to-day lives, not just when we go to a place of prayer, but in our everyday lives. And so let's set this intention through a visualization. So I have prepared this visualization for you, which I'm going to read while you close your eyes and visualize this spiritual journey within in the next few minutes. So please breathe freely. Just feel yourself breathing freely. Shake out any tension in your arms and your hands. Just feel the tension just drop away. Do the same with your legs, your feet. Raise and drop your shoulders a couple times and feel the tension just melt away. Reach way up with both of your arms. Way up. Feel the stretch and release. Reminds me of my 10 years of ballet doing that one. Okay. Sink into the furniture you're on. Just feel yourself, just relax and sink into it. Now close your eyes. Keep breathing freely. And allow yourself this time to nurture yourself. Let's begin by acknowledging how your outer persona has so bravely, and I mean bravely, gone through the pain of multiple losses, including the loss of a sense of safety during the pandemic, perhaps leaving you feeling frightened, lost, and somewhat unsure as to the next step to take in your life. You may surely had your faith tested like it's never been tested before. And as you breathe freely, put your hands over your heart and energetically pull those fear feelings into your hands. Feel the fear leaving your body, the trunk of your body, and going into your hands. Notice a glowing pink loving light form all around your hands. See this beautiful, delicate pink glowing light forming all around your hands, calming your feelings of fear and turning them into love. Just see those fear feelings that you're holding in your hands turn into pure love. Now that you see how your fearful feelings that make you feel vulnerable are really a gift that allows you to access your authentic soul self at a much deeper level, you do not need to bury your feelings of fear anymore, because now you are empowered to transform them into pure love from your soul. You are free to do this using your free will at any time. Keep breathing freely. Your wise soul has been observing your struggle with your fears, knowing the truth of who you are at your core. Your wise soul knows who you really are. And that is pure love. Now feel that pink, delicate, spiritual light envelop your entire body. Feel it spread from your hands, up your arms, around your entire body like an aura. Feel the loving pink energy melt into your body, healing it. Your body is the vehicle that houses your soul in this lifetime. So nurture it. Nurture it moment to moment, day to day, lovingly. And be grateful to your body for how loyal it has been to you. And thank it. Tell your body that you love it. You awaken to a new awareness that your soul within is the real and lasting part of you. And that makes you feel more alive than ever. Your soul soars, knowing that it's being seen. Your soul soars, knowing that you are hearing it now. And any depression that you felt as a result of suppressing it lifts away and floats away. As you feel into the fear that others around you have from their own soul lessons, you feel the unifying force of a spiritual Olympian who suspends judgment when others struggle with their life lessons. You see souls first in every person and their circumstances and the package that they come in secondarily. You always see souls first. With certainty, you can rise up as your soul spreads its wings and soars with joy that lasts for eternity, with inner peace that is real and sustains you long term. Keep breathing freely and slowly come back to the room. Slowly come back to the room and open your eyes. I have this little sign that I have had for several years now, and it's just a tiny little thing, but it makes an impact on me day to day. And it simply says, never ever give up. And what it does for me is it helps me to refocus on who I am at the core of my being, pure, divine, soul energy. And that it reminds me that the details in the present chapter of my life or my day or my week is just that. It's just one chapter. And so this is not a bad thing for you. You could write on a piece of paper, never ever give up, and post it somewhere as a positive affirmation to refocus and to keep the hope. At the end of my book, Shades of Soul Passion, Guiding Principles to Set Your Soul on Fire, are exercises for spiritual fitness. And each exercise helps you flex your spiritual muscle. And you will find that your life becomes more fit because everything is connected. So if you're spiritually fit, then that helps you to become more emotionally, mentally, physically, and so on, fit, like in your entirety as a whole being, holistically, which is a good thing, right? So, one idea that you might have fun with is forming a spiritual support group with other like-minded people that are at the same point as you, wanting to become spiritually fit and open their third eye, their inner eye, even deeper. And you could have fun giving it a fun name like Sexy Sassy Souls. And really, with the bravery that you've shown in your past and your present, and will undoubtedly show in your future, bravery and confident soul identity really are, sexy, appealing qualities to cultivate. So that's one option for a spiritual support group name, and I'm sure you and your tribe, as they call it, could come up with some others that are fun and creative and enjoyable The sky's the limit. So I look forward to connecting with you in lesson 3, connecting to your spirit guides for a better quality of life. And I have quite a few soulful tips with regards to this based on my 38 years as a medium. And until then, my kindred soul, please feel my cosmic hug for you across time and space. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste.